You know what, mate? You don't realise how lucky in a way I am, yeah. But in the six in the end of the 70s, we had the Sex Pistols, Johnny Rotten, and all that lot come to Chelmsford prison, and I was talking about it yesterday because there's a big thing about the Sex Pistols at the minute, and they become like, well known again. And they've always been well known, a bit more so now. And I love for them to tell a story about coming to Chelmsford prison and singing and nearly getting killed. Uh, where they were saying that all those lot in Chelmsford prison are a complete F's and C's and all that, this, that, and the other for allowing the screws to bang us up in such a silly prison. You know what I mean? And you had a few nutcases in there. You had the Benders, you had the Tibbses, you had Fraser, you had Ludlows, you had Dixons, you had me. Oh, you had some crazy people in there. You know what I mean? Tony Lawrence, and they was lucky really to get out of there alive. It's fair play to the Sex Pistols, mate. And now they're really, really so famous. And at that time, they was just really starting off, and they come in to give us a show, and we give them a show at the end. You know what I mean? But that's to run out of that place 100 miles an hour, and I was just thinking about them times, and also times in the same prison, which they're ballerinas. Ballerinas. I mean, like not kids, proper ballerinas, women. Come into the chapel, into the chapel, right, and start dancing and all ballet leotards and all this that and the other. You can imagine, can't you? Being in Chelmsford prison, there's guys in there done 20 years, 18 years, 10 years, and they're all sitting there watching these ballerinas being thrown in the air and doing all their bits and pieces. So you can imagine the state of the cells at night time. you can you can imagine everyone there. I think the one that got the job was Ronnie Bender, to make sure that they were safe on stage. He had a good time. But I mean, everybody was asking for certain things, like to a lot of gossip and all them sort of things to come into Chelmsford prison. But I got to say it, the Chelmsford prison was the best prison in England. I feel that it was the best prison ever. They looked after us to a certain extent. I mean, when you think about Ronnie Bender and all them sort of people getting scotch, vodka, Bacardi, gin, everything, champagne, not champagne, I never seen no champagne, more like it was there, but when you hit it, and cigars, king of the cigars, and cigarettes and all that, and lighters, and everything really that you wanted, Ronnie Bender would have. I think the Tibbses just had the same thing. The old man Jim and young Jim, you know. I mean, young Jim, good fight, young Jimmy Tibbs, mate. And to think that he was that good, and they just put him away. That's what happens in prison. That's what happens when these judges. They not only put you in prison, but they also take your license away from you. Whereas in America, they don't. If you get nicked for a violent offence in America, you keep it. You keep your license, yeah. But in this country, mate, you don't. You don't. I can't see the point in it. If you are what you are, if you're brought up that way, why take the license from you? I mean, okay, you've been done for a quite bad offence for GBH and all that sort. Why take your license from you? Why take your box? That's being sentenced. Being sentenced is your sentence. So why give you another sentence? It's like in prison, yeah. When you get a sentence in prison, and when you get in prison, they sentence you again. They're taking top. They can. In my days, you used to lose days. You could lose days just getting out of bed, not getting out of bed at the right time. I mean, as a YP and a Bolster boy, if you wasn't out of bed when they looked for that spy, you could lose 3 or 4 days. I mean, 6 to 2 ball stall, you'd very rarely get out of 6 months. Most of them 18 months, most of them 20 months. I've done 2 years ball stall because I tried to escape from Portland, and Portland's one of the hardest prisons to escape from. And then I wound up going to Rochester recall centre, and it's not a nice place, believe me. Portland was hard, but Rochester was even harder. And when I was at Portland, I was in Rodney House, and I become one of the daddies in Borstal. When I first went in there, it was hard for me. Yeah, I was always fighting as a kid. Uh, Black, white, pink, purple, mauve, whatever colour there was, I would fight. Yeah, and the only way I got to the top was to beat the top man, and I become that person. Yeah, I become the big boy. You know what I mean? So we all go through that when I was a daddy. But daddy gets what he wants. Daddy gets all the sweets and everything. And but I couldn't stand it. I wanted to go home. I'd had enough. But I got captured. I only got captured maybe I don't know what. I don't know what 200 yards. It's not easy to get out of Port of Borstal, believe me. And some people have, but it was that hard, yeah. But they put me to Rochester Borstal, the recall centre. It's like a recall, and it's they go there for naughty boys, and that's what I went, yeah. But Portland's is just as naughty. And then, I mean, as I said, Chelmsford Prison, without a shadow of doubt, is the best prison you could ever go to. I mean, to be looked after. I mean, there was a regime. The regime was don't get caught. It's as easy as that. Don't get caught. You know, everybody in there had their own way to a certain extent. Certain people had that little bit more. I mean, I remember Tibbs's, the old man Tibbs. He could do what he liked, and he did do what he liked. You know what I mean? But why not? Why not, mate? Why not? No, I believe I believe what they done was the right thing to do, and they sent them some. They sentenced them a bit too over the top, a bit odd, but that's what they did in them days. You had bad judges. I mean, you had Griffiths Jones, you had Melfi Stevens, you had Abdullah Argyle Mason, Mishkin. You had the one I had was what? God, bloody hell, not Melfi Stevens. It was as bad as yeah. Griffiths Jones, that's it. The one I had was Griffiths Jones, the common sergeant of the Old Bailey. He was the top man. You don't want to go in front of people. And the worst one they reckon they go in front of was a Justice Denning. Justice Denning was the worst judge at the Old Bailey. I mean, a lot of people that have been watching my podcast, I've asked them before to tell me about the worst judges. They say because you had the assizes, you had all the judges, they moved around. In nowadays, it was, everyone was shouting out when the judges are going to get, you know what I mean? It frightened the life out of you. And it's, to get, I mean, how wrong is that? How wrong is that? Because you get the right judge, you get a good sentence. You get the bad judge, you get a big sentence. So why is that right? All judges should be the same. Why are they all different? You going one judge, you get 10 years, you go another, you get 20 years. It don't make no sense. You know what I mean? It's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong, but they don't care about us. We're no one. We're big thugs, tough nuts, and yet we let that person in that courtroom get away us off and do nothing about it. And yet we're such big bad gangsters. But that's how it is, and and mind you, we are memory accepts it, and you go through your thing when you get first put away, and you're waiting to get waiting to get put on remand. Then you appeal against the sentence, or you're doing this, they're doing that, and it goes you mad, You wait for your sentences, you get your sentence, and you appeal against the sentence, and you wait for parole. It's all crazy. Everything's waiting for something. You know what I mean? You got these people doing like big sentences. I was doing a big sentence, not so big as some of them. I mean, some of us are doing 20 years, 25 years, and they do it as they do it, mate. But we all do it the same, But day by day, mate, they do it day by day, and it's quite I mean, people when you go in your house and you sit in the toilet, you look at you sit in the toilet. Your toilet is about the size of a cell, so you can remember it's not that. It's a little bit bigger, and it all depends what toilet you got. I mean, my mate's got a toilet in his place. It's like the size of the prison, but that's beside the point. But what I'm saying is, what are they? What are they? I think they're about. I think they're about what 7 by 10, 7 by 12. That's it, 7 by 12, 7 by 10 foot long, but or 7 foot wide or 6 foot wide, and that is your home. That is your home. You make it good. I mean, we all make it good, but once that cell's all shut, it's shut, and that's it, and that's your life, mate. And you're there for 8, 10 hours, and they open the door, and then you do your work, and you come back, you eat your dinners or whatever you do, and then it's bang up, bang up, bang up, bang up, bang up, and that's what you got to get on with. You do your bird um, every day. I mean, it's a mindset, and it's like you put yourself to do it. And when you go in prison, I mean, I remember first going away in a big prison. Well, not actually a big prison in my YP, and I didn't believe that I didn't believe that what I got, the sentence I got, and I sort of woke up in the morning with one eye open, one eye, and I thought, oh, this is real. Then I get the guy come along, smash the door, banging the door with a truncheon, and you got to get out of bed, and you got to do your pack, you got to do all your pack up, you got to do all your kit up, you got to do everything up, ready for them to open the door and let you out, And ball stools even worse. I mean, ball stools. But ball stool really is a regime that they give us to do. Exercise, breakfast, exercise, work, exercise, dinner. I mean, ball stool is one of them places that you become 100% fit. I mean, 100% fit. And when you come out of that ball stool, you're a soldier. You're treated like a soldier, and everything you do is like a soldier. You get punished like a soldier. Bread and water and all that. I mean, not many people out there. Now, not so much then, because a lot of people got bread and water. I've been on bread and water. When I absconded, I was on bread and water. I mean, bread and water is crazy. Only about 7 days, but it's still bread and water. 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days. It's that sort of thing, you know what I mean? But it's still bread and water. I mean, there's people watching my podcast now that have been on bread and water, but there isn't many people out there. I should imagine that have been on bread and water. Because I've been quite through the mill all through my sentences. I've never done it easy, but I might say I've never done it easy. A prison is what you make it. People cry about it. I cried for quite some time. I mean, I went through quite a lot. I mean, my book is near the end now. I should imagine we're editing the book now, so it won't be long. I still do it every week. I still sit down every week for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, going through the stories, picking things out that have got to be changed, and putting things more into the story, because as you're going on, you remember more than what you've already told, and it goes on and on and on. I've got big stories. I mean, I've been in prison most of my life, 26 and a half years. I've got stories that are unbelievable stories. Out on the road, I've got even bigger stories, but it goes on, and everybody out there, is the people on my comments all saying to me, look, where you got to do a film. Yeah, film is important for me, I just see it, do a series, Netflix series, I don't know. I mean, my stories are unbelievable. I don't think there's no book about like my stories. There isn't one. I've read a few stories, mate, and there is Craze, Richardson's, the Essex Boys, and all that. The Essex Boys just goes on and on and on and on. It's gone crazy now. It's Mahoney is good at what he does, and he deserves to go forward. I mean, he was one of the guys on the doors, and he's going on a bit now, the Essex Boys, and I think I deserve a chance now to beat the Essex Boys. And my story is a bit near the mark. I'm only sorry that I can't get hold of my mate Brian Cox. Brian Cox, the director, producer, and actor. I'd love to get hold of him. I'd love to get hold of him and give him my book. It's not a rule of no, I can't do it. It's a rule of if you can get hold of it. You can get hold of my book. I can try and get hold of him as much as possible. There's a few people I know, guys a couple of guys I know that are actors. One of my mates, Danny, he's done 56 films. He's been in the Craze film and all that. You know, my mate has done quite a lot of gangster films, and I said to him, can he try and get hold of Brian Cox for me? He's trying his hardest. I mean, come on, Brian Cox is the top man really to talk to. I mean, if you read my book, he'd love it, mate. He'd love it, and I know that he'll try and get me a film or maybe a series. You know, I've gone through a lot. It's about time that I bettered my life rather than keep going in and out of prison. Prison now is not part of my life. You know, touch wood. Prison's not a part of my life no more. I've been in prison too long in my life. I've been out now of prison 10 years. 10 years. You know, I've never ever been out of prison 10. Well, once I think. I come out in, about 80 something, 90 something, and then go back to 04, 05 or 02 or something like that. So I was out at quite a time then. But this is the longest I've been out. I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. All I do is my podcast and I train. That's about all I do, really. It's very hard for me to get out of this place. There's no pavements. It's only roads. It's quite dangerous out there as happens. It's very crazy. It's just a nutty place, yeah. So to live, you can't get out in the car, which I haven't got. But it isn't say what I haven't got, I will get. You know, I'm going to get a car one day, and then I can be free and see the people that I want to see. I mean, I've been out a couple of times. I've been to stations and drove and go somewhere and meet people. But the time you get there to see them, it gets on a bit, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and then I'm not in prison. I haven't got a tag. I haven't got to be back at a certain time. But trying to get in this place at a certain time is quite hard work. But you got to get a cab. It's not so bad, you know. Cab costs money in these places, and I'm not doing nothing. Money is important to everybody, all of us, but I'd rather have no money and be out here. Yeah, be out here doing what I'm doing now. I'm living, you know what I mean? But before, I was living, getting lots of money, enjoying my life, but at the end of it, I wasn't enjoying it, you know? I mean, I lost everything. I lost all my money. I lost my wife, my kids. I lost my girlfriend, my kids. I lost my mum. I lost my dad. I lost my brothers, my sisters. I've lost everything, you know what I mean? It's just me. I mean, I've got a beautiful sister called Dinah that I've upset. I've got a brother Keith that he's 100% by me. My other young brother Bobby, he's a bit mollycoddled by women. He's got to do as he's told. He's a naughty boy, and he can't be getting in touch with his brother because he'll be getting trace on his case, and he don't want that, mate. My poor brother, eh? My poor Bobby. Anyway, but that's what it is. But I'm just saying about Sex Pistols. Everyone now is talking about Sex Pistols, and you listen to me. There ain't no one out there. Only people that was in Chelmsford prison at that time see Sex Pistols in prison. The Sex Pistols in prison. How about that, mate? On the stage, you could touch them more or less, you know, and we nearly did. We nearly did touch them in a violent way, but that is what it's all about. But they come in Chelmsford prison in the 70s to see us boys and to play us and give us a bit of stick, and we just let it go. Yeah. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Radio. Please press the like button and subscribe. Thank you for all the subscribes you've done. And anyway, I've got lots more to talk about. And Marvin Herbert, keep on, mate. You're doing good. You're back again. You're back again, driving people mad. Anyway, crack on. And Christian from KIN TV, I like Christian a lot. And Sean Atworth, I like them all a lot. I like them all. Every one of the people doing podcasts, I like. Yami, I like. They all talk the truth. Well, some of them talk the truth. And some of them fabricate a lot, and they still get plenty of whatever they get. Anyway, please press the like button, please subscribe, and good afternoon, yeah? Take care, nice one. Bye-bye.